This is a very short practice that you can use either as a morning practice or just a general loosening the body up practice. It's based on sun salutations, unashamedly, because they're such a good way of moving the body very gently. And particularly, as I say, in the morning, if you are quite tight, it might be tight in your back, might be tight in your legs, your hips, might be difficult to walk, might be some inflammation in the ankles. It's a really nice way to move the body to open up some of the joints. And after you've done it, you'll feel a bit better for it. I guarantee it, because it's what I found out with the morning practice is as much as sometimes you wake up and think, I really don't fancy doing this, when you do it, it's like anything. Once you've done it, you really feel the benefit of it. So the premise is that we start standing up, roll your mat down, get some space wherever you are. And the first thing is these movements are really, really gentle, because we've got a lot of inflammation in the body as soon as we wake up. Body's gone into about 6, 7, 8 hours of repair. And also your discs in your spine are quite bulbous. They're quite full of nutrients. And so they put a lot of pressure on the muscles around the vertebrae. So we take the movements really slowly and build up gradually. Okay, we'll start straight into it. So in the standing position, first thing I would do is gently lift up onto the front of the feet. Again, if this is too much, then avoid this or don't go deep into it. But if you've got any issues in your toe knuckles, this is quite nice. Just spread your toes, just rock forwards and backwards gently on your feet. Once you've done that a few times, bend your knees a little bit. Take the tension out of the hamstrings, and then draw the arms up nice and high. Reach up, maybe bend the elbows, a big stretch with your knees bent. So upper body stretch here, shoulder stretch. Okay, and then swing the arms down, and maybe a few of these ski swings where you soften the knees, sweep the hands forwards and backwards. Nothing too extreme, but it's just getting some movement into the joints, getting the body warmed up, getting some warmth into the body. Okay, and then straighten up, bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, press your hands away, bend your knees, push your arms up a little bit, and then a couple of side bends here. Okay, with the elbows bent, just feeling that stretch down the side of the body. And then lower the hands down, a couple more swings here. Standing cat-cows are really good. So standing cat-cows with your feet hip width apart. Basically what we're doing is pulling our tailbone forwards and then pushing our bum backwards. That's the movement. You probably just see that. So we're rotating the pelvis forwards and backwards. This is moving the sacrum against your lumbar spine in that nice forwards backwards movement. If you can do this, okay. Points of reference are your bony bits on the top of your hips, your ASIS, and the bottom of your rib cage. You can put your thumbs on your lower ribs and your fingers on your ASIS. And as you bring the tailbone forwards, you can feel those bony protrusions coming forwards, and then you push your bum backwards, you can feel them going backwards. A couple of those standing cat-cows. Come to the top of the mat, bend the knees, draw the arms up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, take your hands down towards your knees, and then a very gentle half lift as you straighten the legs. Lift your head up, bend the knees, draw the arms up nice and high, straighten it up. Bending the knees, breathe out, hands onto your knees, straighten your legs, lift your back up a little bit, find that tension in the back of the legs, bend the knees, lift the hands up. Drop the hands down the side of the body, tuck the chin in, roll the shoulders forward, really pull your tummy button in now. With your shoulders rolling forwards, soften the knees, slowly roll the spine down, basically taking the arms towards the floor, keeping your tummy button pulled in. This will support your lumbar spine. Okay, really give that good integrity, support, control. And then a roll up as you push into the floor with your legs, your feet, keeping your tummy button pulled in, roll up. It feels quite innocuous, feels like there's nothing going on. Roll your shoulders backwards, draw the arms up, big stretch here. And then release the hands down the side of the body, bend the knees, let the head hang, tuck the chin in, round the shoulders forwards, pull your tummy button in and a roll down. This is super good for your spine. It's a really good way of stretching those tight muscles around the discs. And if you just did this in the morning from a standing position in your bathroom after you brush your teeth, it's really, really good to stretch out tightness in your spine. Rolling your shoulders backwards a couple of times. Breathe in, lift up. Okay, that's a nice way of gently opening the joints of the body. We're going to go straight to sun salutations now. We're going to very, very slowly. So with the breath in, draw the arms up nice and high, big reach up, bending the knees, and then taking your hands down towards your shins. You could try a half lift here as you lean onto the front of the feet, Lift your bottom up, straighten through the legs, straighten through the back. Bend the knees to get your hands towards the floor. Walking the feet backwards to get your hands grounded and come to a downward dog if that's okay for you. Otherwise, drop straight onto your knees. If you're okay in dog, pedal the legs out here, just stretching out through the backs of the calves, and then drop onto your knees. And then with your knees under your hips, walk the hands forwards, take a puppy stretch here. So stretching out through the back as you lower the chest down with arms nice and straight, feeling that nice release. Maybe taking the hips backwards a little bit, find some space in your spine, your shoulders, looking down at the floor. Nice stretch, particularly first thing in the morning. And then walk the hands backwards, come into a tabletop position with some conventional cat-cows now. So as you breathe in, tummy to the floor, head lifts, tailbone back. As you breathe out, tuck the tailbone under as you pull the tummy button in, drop the head. Okay, and then going to come slowly down to the floor. So bending your elbows, letting your body come to the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Little cobra back bend here as you gently press into the floor with the hands. Lift the chest away, little bit of a back bend, looking straight down in front of you. Try to draw the shoulders back as you lift the ear lobes away from the shoulders and come back down. Push up onto your knees. We'll take a child here. So sitting back onto the heels, keeping the hands grounded, pull back into your sit bones. Feel that stretch through the body. And then come up, step in the left foot between the hands, steady yourself on your left knee, come to an upright position here, draw your tummy button in, take your hands behind you and draw the arms backwards as you feel that nice stretch through the front of the body here. A little bit of a lean forwards into this stretch, stretching through your hip flexor and release hands, reach hands up, breath in here and breath out, take the hands down. When your hands land on the floor, lean onto your right hand in this case. We'll take a big circle with that other arm. Opening up, rotating through the shoulder complex, and then come down. I'm going to change it over. So same on the other side, stepping that right foot forward, steadying yourself on that right knee, come to an upright position, putting your tummy button in, take your hands behind you. This is a great shoulder stretch with the arms behind you. As you lean in, you're stretching your hip flexor. Taking a couple of breaths here. Release, lift the hands up. Breath in, exhale, float the hands down. And when your hands come to the floor, lean onto that left hand, taking a big circle with your right arm, looking to the side, looking up as it comes down. Okay, come back into tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes in, lift into a downward dog. So send the hips backwards a little bit, push into the toes, lift into downward dog, and a few more pedals here. Just stretch out through the back of the legs. Look up between the hands. And on your toes, walking slowly to the top of the mat to a bent knee forward bend, letting your arms come off of the floor, hands come off of the floor, pull the tummy button in, grab hold of your elbows and let the shoulders release to the floor, keeping your core engaged, and then releasing your hands, let your arms dangle, slowly come up. And as you come, roll up slowly, pull the shoulders back, breath in, lift the hands up nice and high, then cactus the arms, looking straight ahead, bending through your left knee so your toes are on the floor, so grounding down through your right foot, and stay looking in front and see if you can find some balance here just on one foot. And don't worry too much if it's not there for you. Being the first time of the balance, the first time in this session of the balance, it's just more exploratory. And drop the hands down onto your hips. Okay, so that's a nice soft way of going through some sun salutations to stretch, open up. Already start to feel a little bit more looser. So now feet hip width apart, breath in, lift the hands up nice and high, draw the tummy button in, bending the knees, bum goes back, hands to your shins, breath in, half lift here, looking forwards, bringing the crown of the head forwards, breath out, bending the knees to take your hands to the floor. And if you get your fingertips from the floor, walk the feet to the back of the mat. So downward dog, pedal out the legs here, a couple of breaths, looking back at your ankles, and then pushing the heels down, lowering the chest towards the floor. Slow breath in, come forwards into plank. You can drop onto your knees or you come onto your forearms. Push your fingertips into the floor. As you breathe out, drop onto your knees, tops of the feet on the mat, elbows tuck in and slowly lower down to the floor with a breath out. Ready to breathe in. Gently peel the chest away from the floor, looking down at the floor. And take a breath here. And breathe out. Come down to the floor. Push up into the, push into the floor with your hands, push up onto your knees and sit back into child, keeping the hands glued, grounded, pull back on your spine and then come forwards. Stepping left foot forward between the hands, steady yourself on your left knee, push up. Slow breath in, draw the arms up nice and high, palms come together. As you breathe out, a little bit of a lean forwards, bringing the hands into the back of the neck as you stretch out through your arms. Take a breath here. In and exhale, hands to the floor. When your hands land on the floor this time, tuck the back toes in, lift the back knee off of the floor, lean into your right hand and draw some circles here on the other side. A couple of circles, just get that movement into this lunge position. And then I'm going to step to the top of the mat. So bent knee forward, bend, let your arms dangle, let your tummy button pull into the spine, slowly roll up. As you come up this time, roll the shoulders back, inhale the hands up, breath in, bend the knees, float the hands down towards your shins with a breath in, a half lift, breath out, bend the knees to get your fingertips on the floor, hands on the floor, walking the feet slowly backwards, downward dog. Pedal out the legs here, still moving through the legs, any opportunity you can. And then if you can, come through to plank or drop onto your knees and come into tabletop. And then from tabletop, knees, chest, chin to the floor, nice and flat on the floor. Slow breath in, draw the chest away, looking down at the floor, drawing the shoulders backwards. Take a breath here just to feel a release in your spine. So not really active in your spine, just allow the spine to hang here. And release to the floor, push up onto your knees and back into child. Again, flexion, extension, going one way and the other way with the spine, just mashing up the discs, getting the discs ready for the day ahead. Okay, and this time, right foot between the hands, steady yourself on that right knee. Put your tummy button in as you come upright. Draw the arms up nice and high, palms come together. Bring the hands into the back of the neck as you lean into the lunge. Find that tension in your body, not going too deep, just to that point, just on the edge of your range of movement. Comfortably, breathing comfortably. And breath in, lift the hands up, float the hands down under control to the floor. This time tucking the back toes in, lift the back knee off of the mat, lean into your left hand and draw up a couple of circles here on the other side, on the right side. Big circles, open up through the shoulder complex. And hand to the floor. And again, step back up to the top of the mat, let the arms dangle, pull the tummy button in, slowly roll up to a standing position. As you roll up to standing position, this time lift the hands up nice and high. Breath in, take a side bend to one side. So reach down with your arm, keeping your shoulders on top of your hips, and the other arm comes over the side. Breath in, lift up, and a side bend to the other side. Breath in, lift up, bend the knees, breath out, all the way down to the floor. With a breath in, half lift. Breath out, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Walk the feet backwards again, downward dog. Pedal out the legs. Drop down onto your knees, chest, chin to the floor. We take a locust. So tops of the feet come on the floor. Take the hands down the side of the body. Breath in, lift up. Stay here, not too high here, just enough that you can feel the effort. Keep the breath nice and soft and slow, not going into oxygen debt. Staying in control in this. You can come out of this anytime you feel you've had enough. That's okay. It's a really great posture for your posture. Okay, release to the floor. Hands on the side of your ribs. Push up onto your knees. Sit back towards your heels. Big counter pose here as you draw the hips backwards. Find that space in the lower back. And then come up. Take your knees out to the edges of the mat. Join your big toes together. Drop your tummy down so you've got a bit of a dip in your spine. Lean into your right hand. Taking the left hand and sliding it through and under the right armpit. Back of the hand is on the floor. Reach across and lower the shoulder towards the floor. Just find a twist here in your spine. You don't have to go too deep. Just thread the needle, and it's just a nice way of twisting the spine. Taking a couple of breaths here. Resting your side of head onto the floor if that's available to you. And really enjoying that nice rotation twist through the spine. Pushing into hand with your right hand to get some space and draw that left arm out. As it comes out, reach out to the side and up, open through the front of the body and hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. We go again on the other side. So the sliding glide in the back of the right hand under the left armpit is through. Try to get your right shoulder on the floor and then rest the side of the head on the floor. A little bit of a twist here. You can always go deeper in these twists, these thread the needle twists, by pressing into the ground in hand and pushing the spine around a little bit further. But as this is simply a joint opening practice, simply doing as best you can in the postures is good enough. Sliding that hand back and then bringing your knees hip width apart. A couple of cat-cows here just to get the spine back into alignment. And we take a downward dog. Lifting the hips high, heels down, looking back at your ankles. Bend your knees, looking up between the hands. Slowly walking to the top of the mat. And with your bum going backwards, pull your tummy button in, knees bent, draw the arms forwards. Into chair pose, firing up your quadriceps. Getting a little bit more heat and warmth in the body. Straighten the legs, release the hands. And finally, with a breath in, lift the arms up nice and wide. Lean into, this case, my right foot. Going to bend through the left knee, come up to the left toes. Stay and focus on something on the floor. I'm going to bring the left foot off of the floor and stay here with some balance. I'm going to stay here for about 3 breaths if it works for me, but as long as you can, to finish off with a little bit of balance, dial in your balanced brain. Just see how you are. And it doesn't matter if it's not there for you, okay? Again, the body is still quite maybe tight, if that's why you're doing this practice. All the way back down, ground down through the left foot, draw the arms up nice and wide, stay focused on something on the floor. Feel that connection with the ground and the sole of your foot, your standing foot, and feel planted, grounded, good solid foundation. Stay focused on the floor in front of you. Try to find some softness in your shoulders, and this will allow some stillness as well through the body. As soon as the body is still, the brain doesn't have to work as hard for the balance. Okay, and then release. Take your feet out nice and wide. Turn your feet outwards, bend your knees. Start to gently swing to the side as you bend into the knees. And this is just a nice way of moving your hips. And then straighten your legs, lift up, inhale the hands up. On the exhale, come down into a wide leg squat, drawing the arms back into goddess. Drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, drawing the knees back, taking a couple of breaths here. Come out, hands on hips, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. And that's it. So try to move the body in 3 planes of movement. Try to move all of the joints, add a little bit of pressure, ground in, try to build some heat into the body. Try to do some longer stretches and try to stretch out through the hamstrings, engage the core through some of the postures. And generally speaking, that might be enough. And see how you go. If you followed that, some of that, all of that, see how you feel afterwards compared to how you felt before. Movement's the key, and it doesn't have to be complicated movement. It could be any movement. So you can pick any one of those postures and play around with it, and then develop your own home practice around that. But sun salutations are a really good foundation to give us an idea of a sequence, a path to go, and then mix it up. And you'll work it out for yourself. You'll find the postures that you need for your body, your personal practice, and then develop on that. Okay, thanks very much. Enjoy your yoga. Stay safe.